Mario Party is one of my favorite multiplayer games, like, ever. That is, Mario Parties 1 through maybe 8? After that, I think the series began to fall a little flat. The fun of navigating variously themed game boards, collecting coins and stars, competing in minigames, and sabotaging the other players was always a great time with friends and family. Until... The vehicle mechanic first introduced in Mario Party 9 was interesting, and while it was certainly new, I feel that most Mario Party players were craving more of the traditional gameplay, where each player moves individually, uses items, and the like. This also began the trend of having Mario Party become increasingly more luck-based. Being essentially left to the mercy of other players' dice rolls and mostly linear paths don't leave much room for skill or strategy. In the earlier games, deciding which route to take or the exact time and place to use that boo bell you've been holding onto were huge components of the gameplay. But now you just take turns rolling die, and maybe you use a special die that lets you roll a 4, a 5, or 6. Along with this, a few other changes were made that overly simplified the game. Instead of having a circular board with a set amount of turns, there's a distinct beginning, middle, and end to each game. Meaning each round can last as little as 10 to 15 minutes, or even less in Mario Party Island Tour and Star Rush for the Nintendo 3DS. This makes the game feel very rushed, and that's not really what Mario Party is about. And with these titles especially, the minigames that used to be after every turn became a rarity, which was pretty sad because Mario Party minigames have always been a high point for the series. I think knowing there was a minigame waiting at the end of each turn made the game much more exciting, and it was a fresh break from moving around the board. While the game boards have made the newer titles a lot less fun to play, the minigames remained fantastic. And that's why minigames being an every turn event has to return. So I've had some ideas for an eventual Mario Party Switch that I think would eliminate some of these issues and make for an awesome entry. First off, I'd make the car an optional mechanic. I wouldn't remove it entirely, but instead make it something that you can toggle on or off like team matches. And if not a toggle, just make Vehicle Party a separate party mode altogether. This way you can play the same game boards as individuals, or play with the vehicle every once in a while. You're not forced one way or the other. The individual mode would play just like the old titles, running around playing minigames, collecting coins, and so on. This is a must. Next is an idea I'm really surprised hasn't happened yet. There needs to be a create your own board feature. Imagine being able to make a custom board that's all Bowser spaces or only blue spaces. This could be something super fun to toy around with, and I can see it going in two ways. Either you can pick a generic theme to place spaces on, like grassland, underwater, snow, or lava, or you could place small, non-interactive elements, like trees or a snowman, from any themed board to make a completely custom board. Either way, I think this is something players would find super fun and refreshing. Somewhere along the way, I think the game boards lost their creativity. Ingenious maps like Peach's Birthday Cake, Pagoda Peak, and Toy Dream were all so unique and contained fun mechanics to fit the aesthetic of each stage. But in Mario Party 10, areas like Mushroom Park just feel so vanilla. The worlds in Super Mario Odyssey are proof that Nintendo can make beautifully diverse and memorable areas to explore. The boss minigames from the past few entries can stay because these minigames are often pretty good, and I liked how frantic they've become. But rather than acting as the beginning, middle, or end point, there can just be a boss space, kinda like how the battle minigame spaces were. The Nintendo Switch's hybrid nature can make parties work on the go or at home with some friends. Having the freedom to develop minigames and game modes that would fit the bill of a portable and home console game would allow for a ton of multiplayer madness. And heck, I wouldn't mind a few wacky DLC characters, or boards for that matter, to keep players interested. Can you imagine a DLC Zelda game board where you run around a Hylian set piece collecting rupees to buy Triforce shards? I think that would be amazing. Overall, I think these small changes and nifty little additions would make every player of Mario Party happy. A return to form title with traditional gameplay that embraces the new content of the later games sounds perfect for me. And with Nintendo seeing a return to form with some of their biggest franchises on the Switch, I have high hopes that they can deliver Mario's best party yet on their most innovative console yet.